What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Home Slice. An unusual episode for you guys today. So this is the story. So I took a vote with the guys in my family and asked them what they would like for their birthday gifts this year, because I am in charge for our household of ordering gifts. And they settled this year on saying, hey, we'd like to get some small sharpening stones to keep our knives sharp, since you're kind of doing this sharpening channel thing. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. But then I realized that I haven't really done a pocket stone tutorial. And I was like, you know what, guys, I'll do you one better. I'll buy you a good pocket stone. So I'm buying them all some Fallkniven DC4s with diamond coarse on one side and ceramic medium on the other side. And then I'm going to send them a link to this video to teach them how to use it. If you struggle to get good results with your pocket stones, or if you want a really intuitive or easy approach, then this video might be for you. If you're one of my advanced sharpener bros, then this video might not contain a lot of new information, but you're welcome here anyway. So, for all of you family guys, hey guys, when you get your birthday package, it should come something very, very similar to this. It probably will say DC4 there, which is diamond ceramic 4-inch. This is a CC4, ceramic. So the difference between yours and mine is that you have a gold side, which is coarse, and a gray side, which is medium. I have a gray side, which is medium, and a white side, which is fine. I'm sending you a coarser stone because it's going to be easier for edge repair. If you're not into sharpening your knives all the time, then you likely will have more flattening or chipping or whatever to repair. And so I'm trying to send you a stone that's easier for you to use for the stuff that you have. Now bear in mind that as I go through this, you will need to flip your mentality, okay? Because the finest stone that I have is the white one, and the coarse is the gray one, but for you, the gold is going to be the coarse, and the gray is going to be the finest side that you have. So you need to flip sides mentally. So sorry about that, guys. The first thing you need is a knife. This knife is a Spyderco. It's relatively sharp. I'm going to take the edge off so you guys know that these results are authentic. So I just destroyed the edge. The edge is gone. A demonstration on a piece of paper. Doesn't want to bite into the paper. If you force it, it can kind of tear its way through. It's really nasty. It's unpleasant. Okay, this will be the state that some of your knives are in. So the first thing that I recommend, and the only other piece of gear that you need, is a marker. I'm using a whiteboard marker. Doesn't really matter what kind of marker you use, but you want to take and color that edge in. I've got a close-up video set up over here, so I'm going to color this edge in, and then I will actually show you what it looks like to begin with. It doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be nice. Whiteboard marker is nice because if you get any out on the grind of your knife, on the other part of your blade that's not the edge, then you can remove it easily. But any marker will do. So that's been markered up. Okay, once you've got your marker on, I want you to get your eyes on the edge and turn it back and forth. I'll show you in the video. I'm turning it back and forth a little bit. And find the place where it sort of like reflects the light and try to guess at what that angle sort of is, or what angle you could hold it at where that surface is sort of flat and level and horizontal. And then you'll take your gold stone, I'm taking my gray stone, but you'll take your gold side of your stone and lay it to the knife like so, and guess at your angle. And then you'll want to like have one finger to support and pinch it between your other fingers, and you're going to be doing circular motions. Be careful not to run your fingers, the pad of your fingers, into the edge as you're going. But as you go, you'll begin to erase bits of the marker, and you'll be able to see whether your angle is good or not. So I've just done a pass there, and you can see that some of it, I'm removing the marker from the edge. I'll do a close-up. Obviously, if you've got some marker that is remaining out at the front end of the edge, then you will need to adjust your angle so that the stone is pointing more downward. If you've got the opposite and the marker is worn away only at the edge, then obviously you need to bring that angle back so it's getting all the way to the shoulder of the edge. So mess around with it. This is your moment to get the angle correct. Do your circular strokes and continue on until you have erased all the marker marks that are actually on the edge. Once you've done that, I would continue working it for a few more strokes because you want to be sure not just to get the correct angle, but to remove all damage. If your edge was broken off or rounded, so it came up to a point that wasn't a fine point, you can take it from this wide to this wide and still have a flat portion. You really want to bring it to a new clean apex. And the way that you can tell if you've actually resurfaced it to a new apex on one side is by checking for a burr. A burr is a portion of bent metal that extends from the edge apex that you can actually feel. So continue working on at that angle that you have discovered. You can see this has cleared away all of the marker that was there, except for the stuff which is remaining on the grind of the knife there. And then put your finger on the surface of the opposite grind and pull it over and off, roll it over. And if you've gotten all the way to a new clean apex, that metal will be so thin that it will fold over. You'll feel a scratchy feeling as you roll over that side, and then go back to the side that you've sharpened, and you'll feel a very rounded feeling because you've actually ground all the way out to that. I need to put a little bit more work into this side, so I'm going to do that now. Circular strokes at that proper angle. Once you get comfortable, you can go a little faster. You want to raise a decently large burr, a burr that's large enough to feel, and that's really because that is how you're confident that you've actually resharpened to the extent that you've come to a new edge apex. Once you finish on the one side and you've got that angle dialed in and you can feel that there's a burr all the way from the tip to the heel, which I've achieved now, you can flip to the other side and make sure you erase your marker marks on that side. Adjust your angle until you're taking all of the marker off. Use your circular strokes to raise a burr on that side. You'll be doing all this with the golden side of your stone. It's a rough diamond stone, and so it should go more quickly than what I'm doing now. And once you're done with raising a burr on both sides with your diamond stone, you'll want to cut off the burr with an edge leading stroke. So we're doing circular strokes here, but I'll show you how to do that in just a moment. Okay, I've taken all of the marks off of this side, other than what's left here on the grind. And if I feel across the edge here, I can feel that it feels very rounded over and smooth. If I feel the other side, I can feel a pronounced sort of scratchy feeling. There's a little bit of metal protruding up. So once you find that that's the case, you have resurfaced both sides effectively and removed most of the damage. There still can be chips that cause you a little bit. At this point, I take my leather sheath that the sharpener comes in, and this side tends to grip the stone pretty well, the smooth side, and this side that's rough tends to grip the table. So I'll usually put the sheath down, present the side that you've been using. For you it will be the gold side, and then take that side where the burr is now and very carefully try to match that angle. You know what angle you've had it at from doing this, so take a look at that and then try to match that edge angle that you've used and set the knife on the stone and do a very gentle, what you call an edge leading stroke, as if you're cutting at the stone. You can move forward and just extend your wrist without changing angle, and you should feel that burr disappear. What you're doing at this step is you're removing metal that has undergone deformation and is now damaged. Once you get that side, you'll want to go the other side as light as you can manage it, just an edge leading stroke or two before you move to the finer grits. That feels really good. I'm going to do one more that way. And once you can't feel very much burr anymore, you are done with that step and you can move to your finer grit stone. Now, with the finer grit stone, for you this will be the gray stone. You can do the exact same process. So simply mimic that angle. You can bring the marker back out if you're not completely sure of your angle, but you're gonna endeavor to raise a burr on your knife. It should come more quickly this time because you've already formed an edge apex. Yeah, I'm using a very fine stone here, and I've already got a clean, a small burr. Flip to your other side and resurface that. Once you get a little bit of experience, you'll be able to do this style of sharpening, and you can actually watch the finish of the edge change. You can watch the finish become more shiny as you progress up through finer and finer grits, and you won't actually need a marker. So you could just pop the stone in your pocket if you're going out into the outdoors, or if you're going to work or something like that and you need a sharp edge. You could actually bring a stone in your pocket, and just by eyeballing the way that the light reflects off of there, you can sharpen. So come back to your leather. We need to now do the edge leading stroke. You can just brush the metal shavings off, primarily of these pocket stones. Every now and then I get a magic eraser and scrub the metal shavings out. But remember and recall that angle that you used before, and then this is where you use your lightest touch. Just light edge leading strokes. For you, they will be on the gray medium ceramic. For me, they're on the white fine ceramic. You can check if you want to. I'm pretty confident in these edge angles now at this point, and you probably will be fairly confident as well once you get used to things. But you can check for burr and make sure you're not only hitting the angle of one side properly. I actually was a little out of balance there, despite my confidence, so let's try this again. Feel free to increase your angle until you are sure that you have removed that burr. And then once you can no longer feel burr on either side of the edge, when you're done with that, then you can take it to the leather. Now you can buy a buffing compound or a diamond paste to put in your leather, but honestly, for a beginning sharpener and even for many applications, I'd recommend just leaving the leather plain. But you put your stone inside the leather and it presents this nice surface, and you'll want to flip it over so that the rough surface is facing up. And I would say to give it some firm pressure, since it's not loaded with diamond abrasive, you won't have to worry too much about rounding the edge. But use firm pressure, use those edge angles you've discovered, try to access that muscle memory you've done by sharpening it both sides and get those angles dialed in. You can even go a tiny bit steeper of an angle if your leather is not loaded with compound. And you'll want to do about 10 strokes with decently firm pressure. And as you get to the end, you'll want to ease up on the pressure more and more so that you're just aligning and cleaning. I'm not counting, I have no idea how many strokes this is. But if you remember that this was not at all cutting paper at the beginning of this, at this point, you should be shaving quite easily. I don't know if you can see the hairs leaving my arm there, but it's shaving easily. Yours may not be shaving quite as smoothly because you're not going to as fine a stone. And yeah, it's slicing paper evenly and cleanly. You can actually push cut paper, so pushing straight through. I do have a couple little spots that didn't get fully repaired. You don't notice it in a slice cut, but there's a couple places that don't want to push cut quite as easily. Right there's one. But anyway, that's how you sharpen with a pocket stone. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope this results in you enjoying the knives that you have a lot more. Feel free to put any questions you have in the comments if I didn't cover anything. Or alternatively, I go in depth with this sharpening method with Danny, and in the episode where I teach her to sharpen a knife. So I'll put a link to that right here. Other than that, you guys have a great day. And I'll say peace out from the home slice. Happy birthday to all of you family dudes.